Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Colin McGuigan for IFL TV. Delighted to be joined by Tony Sims in Las Vegas, Nevada. Tony, we'll start with last week for John Ryder. Unfortunately, he comes up short.
Yeah.
Unbelievable effort against Jaime Munguia. Really always danced with anyone that gives him an offer of a fight. Never turned anyone down. Do you believe that this is the end of the road for John Ryder, or is that ultimately still the decision he has to make?
I think obviously he's coming close to that date. It's obviously up to him what he wants to do, whether he wants to carry on or retire it. I'll leave that decision to him. But as you say, he's been in with pretty much everyone at his weight, and he's always put his heart and soul on the line for every fight that he's been in. And Munguia is a better fighter than he looks. He's defensively he's quite smart. Like when John a few times got him under pressure, he slipped and slided out of the way. So he's pretty smart, and he's fast and he punches hard as well. So he was a good fighter, and he proved that on the night.
In terms of John Ryder, I spoke to Jimmy Sains, I spoke to George Lillard. They referred to him as someone that they couldn't imagine not being in the gym. If John does decide to call it a day, can you see yourself working alongside him in the gym and having a role with you guys in the Matchroom gym?
Oh yeah, that's always been the plan. Like when John does retire, he'll come into the gym as my assistant, and that's it. I mean, I think John's obviously born to be a fighter, but I think he's born to be a coach as well. And I think John, his temperament, the way he is with other fighters, like everyone looks up to him in the gym, all the young fighters. I just think he'll be a great coach as well when he decides to do that.
He's someone that's lived the professional lifestyle. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, I believe, all that kind of stuff. Do you think that he still has it in him for maybe 1-2 more fights, or do you believe that, in your opinion, it will be the end of the day for him?
It's a total decision that John's got to make, and obviously if he'd have won the fight, then he'd have been looking further on. But it's a total decision for John to make, and he's got to make that decision, because once you make that decision, I don't want to see him retire and then come back in a year's time. So he's got to make that decision himself.
Obviously, we're here in Vegas for Conor Benn. Huge fight against Peter Dobson. Just first of all, Conor, mentally, where he's at, and in terms of this fight, do you believe that we're going to see the very best Conor Benn?
Yeah, we've had a great camp. Obviously, as you know, we've been like 4 weeks out in the US now. We've done 3 weeks at the Churchill Matchroom Gym in Santa Monica. We had great sparring there. And we've been here a week now. We've had good training here, and he's in brilliant condition. He's acclimatised in that amount of time, and he's ready to go.
I spoke to Peter Dobson. He's very confident as well. In fact, he actually fought 3 weeks ago in Russia in an unsanctioned bout. He told me he was robbed in that fight, but he believes that he can bring that experience into this. Do you believe that maybe is a disadvantage that he's fought so recently?
Yeah, I never knew that he boxed, so I'm not sure about that. But he had the call, and Conor's just in brilliant condition. He's just raring to go really, and get this fight over and done with, and then just move on.
I'm not looking past Peter Dobson for Conor Benn at all, but I do need to ask you this. Coogan interviewed Chris Eubank Sr. today. You won't have seen it yet, it's just went out. And Chris Eubank Sr. said that he will not allow Junior to fight Conor Benn next. He believes that it's the promoter's fault that this fight will never happen, referring to Eddie Hearn. And he said that Conor Benn needs to come through Harlem Eubank first. Just your reaction to that?
I don't think Chris Eubank Sr. has got any say over Junior from what I hear. I think Chris Junior, by the looks of it, runs his own career. So, but listen, like he's managing Harlem now, and he's trying to push his name up there. But he's not on our agenda at all. He's not really a big name at 147. So after this fight, we'll just be really pushing on to, if it's not Eubank senior, then we'll be looking to fight big names.
What are the names, Tony, in terms of like if you're looking at Conor's progression in his career? If it's not going to be Eubank, would you be looking at maybe a Butch Ennis or a Terence Crawford?
Yeah, just whatever. Obviously, whatever world titles out there at 147, or any big name really that sells. So it's just about elevating Conor Benn up now into the big fights, and that's what he's going to do next.
Conor spoke quite openly on Ariel Helwani yesterday about his mental battles and almost coming to the point of taking his own life. He also spoke to me previously in an interview about how instrumental you have been in his career through this tough time. Do you believe that through that tough time it's also helped you as a coach?
Well, they say tough times make you grow stronger, and I've been through plenty of tough times in my life, so I've obviously experienced that, where it was probably Conor's first toughest experience, and it was a tough time that he went through, and when he a guy being that young and inexperienced that sort of circumstances, I just tried to tell him that, listen, every 6 months it'll get a bit better. So I said, just keep looking at it every 6 months, and he did refer to that to me afterwards. He said he was right, 6 months went by, and it just felt like I was getting somewhere, and 12 months go by and you just feel like, and then he's fighting, it's his second fight in the last few months. So, time, they say time's a healer, and it is, and time goes by, whatever happens, and tough times don't always last.
2 more questions for me. I know you're a busy man. George Littard, Jimmy Sains on this card. Those boys have hit the lottery getting this chance in their career so early. I spoke to them yesterday, they're over the moon. Can you quite believe that it came around this soon for a US debut for both?
I know, and I was, I was bringing them out. I was going to bring them out here anyway, just for the experience, to train in America, because obviously I was out here with John and Conor, so I was going to bring them both anyway, and Joe Caldine has been with us as well, so we've had near enough the full stable out here, but to be on the card as well is they just can't believe it, I was saying to them, do you know how many fighters, top fighters from Britain would have loved, obviously I trained Ricky Burns for years, and his dream was fighting in Las Vegas, and he never managed to do that. He won world titles at 3 weights and never fought in Vegas. So, it's just like a dream to them, and what an opportunity.
In terms of another guy that left your stable, Craig Richards, obviously recently went to Shane McGuigan. Just your thoughts on that?
Yeah, obviously he trained with my brother Peter, and they split up amicably, and I wished him all the best. I loved Craig being in our gym. He trained alongside all my boys, and but listen, he's gone to Shane McGuigan, and I wished him all the best with his career, and I'm sure he'll do well there.
Last one, Cordina Kakachi. It hasn't been officially announced, but it has been officially announced. Where are we at with that?
Yeah, it's looking like it's definitely on in Saudi. I reckon they'll announce it any time now anyway.
But it's definitely going to happen?
He's looking it like it, yeah.
Tony, always a pleasure on AFL. Thank you, mate.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.